Welcome back to It's Okay Garage. Today we're going to be doing the reassembly of that FB25. So now that we got everything all cleaned up, the heads are back from the machine shop. We're going to start off with one side. First things first, we're going to put that head gasket on. And we're going to be starting on this right side of the engine, which is passenger side if you're looking at it. After that, we'll throw that head on, kind of get everything into place, and then we're going to put the head on fully complete. Then we'll take it apart while it's sitting on here, just so it's easier to work with and we're not going to get anything confused. So we got the cams all taken off, basically the head's put on. We're going to get it all torqued down. We're going to obviously start from the center and you work your way out. So there, and then it's star. And then we torque it down to 22 at first to 51 for your final torque spec. Now that we got the head all torqued down, go ahead and throw some RTV around this outside. And then you also need these two smaller O-rings, and then we'll put the cam phaser spot on, which is this first bracket that the cams sit on initially. And then we'll torque that down to 13.3 foot-pounds, and then you give it a 45 turn after. So I torqued them down. So I started here, and then I crossed. So with that being said, next step is to RTV these front caps and the back caps, and then we'll put those on. So the front ones get torqued down to 7.2 foot-pounds, and then the middle and the rear get torqued down to 14.5. So just everything goes down evenly. And when I do that, I'm gonna start with the center ones, do the front, and then the rear. Now that I got those all torqued down, go ahead and throw that valve cover on. Make sure you throw RTV on it as well. Now that we got the valve cover on, we're gonna throw the injector or fuel rails on. So go ahead and grab those, slide it in place, and it's those 2 tins that put it on. And then we'll throw the spark plugs in as well. And repeat on the other side. So we're gonna jump to that other side and bust it out. Got the driver's side head on. So now let's move on to that timing. Since the full long block's basically together, let's get that timing all in place. This timing chain on this back one, and then do this side. So we'll do that driver's side first. So to get this timing in place, I was about 3 teeth off over here, because you want to take this mark and you line it up with this line right here on this link, and then you're going to take this other orange link and you line it up with this dot. And then also, sometimes these are chrome, but this one is a black key link. You're going to line up with this keyway wood drift key, and the wood drift key needs to be down when it's all in line. So what I found was there's about 3 teeth. These ones I got lined up. This one is about 3 teeth off to get lined up properly, to have no tension on it, and this is about 4. So with it in time, you want your wood drift key facing down at 6 o'clock position, and then you want these timing marks right here and here facing towards each other. And then also I put my timing guides on, and then with this timing chain tensioner I used a Allen key in there, and I kind of mocked everything up to get everything in place to time it, to make sure it was in time. It's a little bit of a challenge. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try that on this passenger side, which, if I remember right, these passenger sides, you basically just line right up, kind of like what it is right there. Slide it on, and you should be in time. So you just boom, boom. So let's do that, get this other side on. And also, you need to start with the driver's side because of the timing chain setup. This one is farther pushed back, and this one's out front. So just a reminder. All right, so I turned it over a few times. I got all my marks on, so you can go with these orange ones to the line and to the dot, and then your wood drift key down at 6 degrees, boom, boom. And then also you want to make sure these marks are facing towards each other. Make sure everything's tight in here, and we're going to move on to that timing cover. You get this gaskets all in, and then I also did these two real quick. So let's get that timing cover RTV'd and thrown on. Now that we got the timing cover all put on, there's gonna be some assorted long 10s and whatnot as well. We put the dipstick on. Now we're gonna move on to the top by doing the crossover pipe, and then the EGR, the wiring harness, and intake manifold. And then I'm also gonna throw this pulley on as well. So let's get all that top buttoned up. Now that we got the wiring harness all put on and plugged in, just make sure you get all the plugs back in place, the ground's all hooked up. And then you're gonna throw this intake manifold on. When you do that, make sure you get this EGR pipe on as well. or you can put it on after. We're just going to put it on with it and then plug in your fuel rails. After you do that, the top should be all done. Then we're going to move over to the exhaust side of things and do the exhaust manifold. Once we're done with the exhaust manifold, we'll move over to the front, put those 2 pulleys on and the tensioner and then the water pump pulley, and then we'll probably get it set up to put it in the car. Intake manifold's on, fuel rails are all plugged in. Don't forget to plug in this plug right here and this plug and that plug as well, and then get all your hoses plugged up. Now let's move to the exhaust manifold. So we put this motor mount on. You got 3 long ones and then 1 short one. We'll put this water pump pulley on, and then we'll put these other pulleys on. We got the pulleys all on. Ended up putting the exhaust manifold on as well. I just got to plug these 2 plugs in over here. Let's get set up to put on the cherry picker and get it installed into the car. Just like that, that's how you assemble the FB25. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you in those next videos.